This Week in Astrology video forecast. This is episode number 45 for the second half of May 2015. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Benjamin Bernstein of astroshaman.com, coming to you from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm an astrologer, shamanic healer, and awakening activator, and it's my pleasure to bring you these weekly astrology forecasts. What's new during this forecast period? A Jupiter-Pluto quincunx opens wealth expansion possibilities during the second half of May. This half month also supports resource accumulation with a Taurus new moon. Mercury turns retrograde, the Sun enters Gemini, and Mars and Uranus create an edgy semi-square. And abundant good fortune can flow from a Venus-Neptune trine. What's old as we come into this forecast period? We've got a waning moon and 3 retrograde planets, Saturn through August 2nd, Pallas Athena through August 3rd, and Pluto through September 25th. So let's now move on to our individual days of this forecast period. On Saturday, May 16th, you can energize healing with new inspiration and diversity with Mars quintile Chiron, Mars 3 Gemini, Chiron 21 Pisces. This aspect can also inspire your thinking and writing. Also here on Saturday, May 16th, it's always a pleasure when the two classic benefics, bringers of good fortune, make a harmonious aspect. A Venus-Neptune trine, Venus 10 degrees Cancer, Neptune 10 degrees Pisces, is wonderful for receiving creative inspiration, recognizing the divine essence in other beings, and connecting to your own divine source. With Venus in Cancer, there's special support for flowing highest good energy to family members and nurturing others with spiritual energy. We're not done with Saturday, May 16th. Next up, how are your committed partnerships going? Whether they're romantic, platonic, or business relationships, a Jupiter-Juno conjunction, both planets at 15 Leo, can bring both strengths and challenges into the spotlight. If significant relationship issues are present, decide whether healing or release is the best strategy. On Sunday, May 17th, things could get a bit edgy under a Mars-Uranus semi-square. That's Mars at 4 Gemini, Uranus at 19 Aries. You can minimize any volatility by taking immediate action on your intuitive flashes. We have a lot for you here on Monday, May 18th. May's new moon occurs at 12:13 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and this new moon is at 26 degrees 55 minutes Taurus. This supports new energies directed toward resource accumulation, improvement of self-esteem, and enjoyment of the 5 senses. Taurus energy is also good for working at a steady, relaxed pace and letting yourself just be. The Sun and Moon are loosely conjunct Mars, which reinforces the new moon's initiatory energy. Mars can also juice up warriorship, exploration, and sexuality. The next aspect to this new moon is Saturn's opposition to the luminaries, which might indicate obstacles to be overcome in the achievement of your new moon goals. If challenges arise, a Saturnian approach can be helpful. Amp up your discipline, maturity, responsibility, and time management skills. This lunation's tightest aspect is a quincunx to Pallas Athena. Make the required adjustments to step more fully into feminine assertiveness, strategic planning, and/or practical creativity. This new moon Sabian symbol is an old Indian woman selling beads and trinkets. It's easy for this image to bring up a sense of poverty and scraping by, of someone who has lost connection with the dignity of her native culture. Taurus rules resources gained through your own efforts. Do the circumstances of this Indian woman resonate in your life? Are you working at something unconnected to your passion just to get by? At some point, a life spent selling beads and trinkets, so to speak, can become profoundly unsatisfying. Are you already experiencing those gnawing seeds of dissatisfaction? Is it time to start working toward making your life purpose and your livelihood the same thing? At the spiritual level, most of us have lost connection with our native culture, the awareness of the absolute peace that we are at the core. Some time spent with the Tarian idea of just being can help remedy this. You may find my free Heal and Awaken invocations to be helpful in this regard. They've helped a lot of people move into that beautiful just being spiritual state. So if you like that, you can go to astroshaman.com, and in the upper right corner of the homepage you'll see a purple banner. It says Heal and Awaken Invocations. Click it and you will be taken to a page of blog posts that will give you full details on how to do this, as well as some free MP3s you can stream or download of my voice guiding you through the process. We still have more here on Monday, May 18th. tensions in committed partnerships could be triggered under a Pluto-Juno quincunx. If so, what adjustments and transformations would get things back on a more even keel? Still more on Monday, May 18th, one of our headlines, Mercury turns retrograde at 9:49 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. It'll do that at 13 degrees 8 minutes Gemini. Mercury will turn direct again on June 11th at 6:33 p.m. and at that point it will be at 4 degrees 33 minutes Gemini. Mercury retrograde seems to have a bad reputation, but there's nothing inherently negative about it. When a planet appears to move backwards in the sky, it can simply indicate a time for deeper reflection around its archetypal themes. Mercury rules learning and communication, so Mercury retrograde can be a great time to spend less energy transmitting information and more time learning, absorbing, and reflecting. Perhaps it's Western society's relentless emphasis on activity and doing that gives Mercury retrograde a bad rap. General principles to follow during any Mercury retrograde include not signing major contracts or making large purchases. Doing so increases the likelihood that corrections or repairs may be required, since Mercury has an ancient association with commerce. Mercury also rules local travel. With routine air travel, local now covers a whole lot more distance than it did in the ancient world, so it's good to double-check travel arrangements. Mercury retrograde also supports certain activities. These include completing projects already started and making repairs. This Mercury retrograde occurs entirely within Gemini, so reflect on how you learn and communicate. So, are we done with Monday, May 18th? Not quite. We've got a T-square to talk about. What revolutionary changes would you like to see in your relationships, finances, or creativity? Be sure to visualize them during the Venus-Uranus-Pluto T-square that begins today, peaks on May 24th, and ends on May 29th. With Venus in Cancer, this aspect pattern can specifically support positive changes in family relationships and family finances. Remember, as always, that you have more control over the outcome of any astrological alignment when you work with it consciously. And if there was any confusion about what I meant when I said today, that's May 18th when it starts. We're going to skip a couple of days. There's no major astrology events on May 19th or May 20th. In this forecast, I do not talk about lunar events, including sign entries and void moons and such. All I talk about is new and full moons relating to the moon. If you want more on lunar events, you can find those in my written forecast at astroshaman.com, where I list all the void moons and sign entries. Our next day with any significant event is Thursday, May 21st. The Sun enters Gemini at 4:44 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. The energies of learning, communication, variety, and playfulness are boosted for the next month. Also on Thursday, May 21st, we have a Jupiter-Pluto quincunx, which means the expansion of wealth is one possible outcome. Jupiter is at 15 degrees 15 minutes Leo, and Pluto is at 15 degrees 15 minutes Capricorn, and the quincunx is a 150-degree aspect. A lot of 1/5s in there. You numerologists go to town on that. But the quincunx indicates that an adjustment is required. For many people, this adjustment is needed first and foremost in their own minds. The universe seems quite solid, but is really an ingenious hologram created in real time by our collective thoughts. Your particular thoughts most powerfully shape the part of the world you personally interact with. This Jupiter-Pluto quincunx empowers the use of the law of attraction to call in wealth. In financial manifestations, remember to specify the exact amount, net after taxes, and the date by which it has arrived. Don't just visualize the amount of your bank account balance. See the lifestyle that you'll be living once you have this much money. Remember also that wealth empowers philanthropy. If calling for wealth makes you feel greedy or selfish, remember you can earmark as much of your bounty as you wish for the benefit of others. If you'd like to learn more about law of attraction, I have a brief, concise article on my website. I guess brief and concise mean the same thing, don't they? On astroshaman.com, go to the search box in the upper right area and type Law of Attraction Made Simple. And you'll see I've boiled it down to 4 simple bullet points. I thought, how simple can I make it and still make it work? So check that out if you're interested. Other archetypal possibilities of this Jupiter-Pluto quincunx include getting deeper insight into the meaning of life, juicing up your performances, and behaving more confidently in positions of leadership. And I brought in performance and leadership because Jupiter is in Leo. Also on Thursday, May 21st, a Venus-Pluto opposition, Venus 15 Cancer, Pluto 15 Capricorn, can catalyze positive transformation in all kinds of relationships, romantic, family, platonic, business, and more. This aspect can get your attention through challenge, but can also provide powerful opportunities for deepening relationship and wealth generation. On Friday, May 22nd, are you hitting speed bumps or roadblocks in your projects? A Sun-Saturn opposition, Sun at 2 Gemini and Saturn at 2 Sagittarius, might be responsible. But you can make Saturn your ally by embodying his high side qualities of maturity, responsibility, time management, and disciplined planning and execution. With the Sun in Gemini, you can get especially productive in the areas of learning, writing, and communicating. Nothing major on Saturday, May 23rd, but on Sunday, May 24th, inspiration is available for healing and mentoring under a Sun-Chiron quintile. Sun, 3 Gemini, Chiron, 21 Pisces. Also, on Sunday, May 24th, we have another T-square of Venus-Uranus-Pluto. Actually, it's the same old one, but it's peaking this time. I've already spoken about it in this forecast, so just to nutshell recap this thing, you can make big paradigm shifts in relationships, finances, and creativity. Again, it began on May 18th, peaks today here on May 24th, ends on May 29th, and again, positive changes in family relationships and family finances are available because Venus is in Cancer. On Monday, May 25th, yet another aspect lines up to support thinking, writing, and communication, a Sun-Jupiter quintile. Sun for Gemini, Jupiter 16 Leo. This quintile also amplifies vitality, enthusiasm, and celebration. Also here on Monday, May 25th, a Venus-Uranus square, Venus 19 Cancer, Uranus 19 Aries, challenges you to think outside the box to set up the optimal framework for your relationships, creative expressions, and finances. Don't just slavishly do what you were taught to do or blindly imitate others. What are your intuitive flashes guiding you to do? And of course, this Venus-Uranus square is part of that T-square I spoke of a moment ago with Venus, Uranus, and Pluto. Also on Monday, May 25th, both the more and less helpful expressions of Neptune are stimulated under a Mars-Neptune square. Mars, 10 Gemini, Neptune, 10 Pisces. The temptation can arise to overdo substances, escapism, victim behavior, or aimlessness. But this square is better used by putting your focus on spiritual awakening practices or bringing your creative inspiration into manifestation. With Mars in Gemini, there's special support for whatever communication you're inspired to bring forth. We're going to pass right over Tuesday, May 26th, and on Wednesday, May 27th, a Mercury-Mars conjunction. Both planets around 11 Gemini can draw forth a passionate desire to absorb new information and teach others what you feel they should know. Scattered thinking is possible, so maintain mental focus. Overly aggressive words are possible, so strive to communicate with compassion and sensitivity. Also, on Wednesday, May 27th, heartfelt mentoring and emotional healing are prime uses for a Venus-Chiron trine, Venus 21 Cancer, Chiron 21 Pisces. Nothing to talk about on Thursday, May 28th, but on Friday, May 29th, a Mercury-Neptune square can lead to mental confusion and drifting thoughts. But you can also use it to open your mind to divine guidance and higher states of consciousness. Also on Friday, May 29th, taking enthusiastic action toward positive transformation can lead to new hope under a Mars-Jupiter-Pluto yod. This aspect pattern, also called a finger of God, begins on May 29th, that's today, peaks on June 3rd, and ends on June 6th. On Saturday, May 30th, let your thoughts roam far and wide under a Sun-Mercury conjunction in Gemini, both planets at 9 Gemini, and share your insights with the world if you're so inclined. On our final day of the month, Sunday, May 31st, positive paradigm shifts in committed partnerships of all kinds are empowered with Uranus trine Juno, Uranus 19 Aries, Juno 19 Leo. And then we've got one more here on Sunday, May 31st. The boundaries between you and everything else can blur under a Sun-Neptune square. Sun 10 Gemini, Neptune 10 Pisces. Call in your divine consciousness to negotiate this expanded state more comfortably. This aspect can powerfully support awakening spiritually and inspired creativity. The Gemini Sun gives creative writing a special boost. What's coming up on our next video forecast for the first half of June 2015? I'll get to that in just a moment, but I wanted to give you a final reminder that Kimberly Crow and I will join luminaries such as Panach Desai, Paul Selig, Matt Kahn, Julie Dittmar, and Tara L. Robinson as presenters and service providers at Conscious Con, a gathering of pure heart-centered energy. It takes place this weekend as I record this, May 16th and 17th, in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Duke Energy Center. If living a more heart-centered life calls to you, then prepare to be changed by a carefully selected lineup of transformational masters, creating a powerful vortex of the new heart energy. Expo exhibitor workshop presenters include experts such as Hans Christian King, Marilyn Ilaria, Raquel Spencer, Dr. Edwidge, Pamela Garand, Sean Galloway, and more. I will present Shamanic Astrology, Planetary Invocation for a Happier Life on Saturday, May 16th. Kimberly will present Destiny Codes on Sunday, May 17th. And both of us will also be doing walk-up sessions in the Expo Hall on Saturday and Sunday. The next couple of announcements are new. I will facilitate a Shamanic Awakening ceremony on Saturday, May 23rd, 4 to 5:30 p.m. at the 10th Annual Wise Wolf Council. This event takes place Memorial Day weekend, May 22 to 24. I'll offer simple, effective invocations for healing and awakening, empowered by shamanic rituals, same kind of thing we do every Tuesday night here at my house. The Wise Wolf Council will take place at the Isis Cove Retreat Center in Whittier, North Carolina, an hour west of Asheville. Attendance is free for the weekend, except for a nominal land use fee. You can attend for all or part of the weekend. This year's theme is Grace, Gratitude, and Gifts. There will be a wide variety of events, including shamanic breathwork, music, dancing, powerful rituals, and joyful celebration. There will be separate events for men and women, mixed gender events, and kids' activities. And finally, I will present astrology and heal and awaken invocations for the Personal Growth Forum on Thursday, June 18th. And it's going to be held at the Unitarian Church in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Absolutely free admission. They're not even taking a love offering. And I'll cover some astrology, do some planetary invocations, some regular invocation. It should be a sweet evening to join if you're in the area. As I mentioned a moment ago, I do a Shamanic Awakening with my partner Kimberly every Tuesday night, 7:15 to 9 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You're welcome to join us by phone if you can't come in person. And now let me get to what I had promised you, which is what's coming up on the next show. Mercury turning direct, Saturn backpedaling into Scorpio again. We'll have a full moon in Sagittarius, Mars aspecting 4 outer planets, the Sun doing that too, plus Mars, and we got Neptune turning retrograde. So that's a lot of stuff happening, and I sure hope you'll join me on the next video forecast to hear all about the best uses of that. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my Benjamin Bernstein YouTube channel to be notified when I post new videos. And if you like this video, please share it. This free video forecast is a partner project with iTunes' #1 astrology audio podcast, This Week in Astrology. It's also free. You can get my semi-monthly astrology forecast in writing by subscribing to my free email newsletter at astroshaman.com. Once you're there, you can also link to my Facebook page where I post daily forecasts, and just by being a subscriber, you get a chance to win a free session. I give one away every month. My personal services include astrology, shamanic healing, and awakening activation. All are equally effective in person or long distance. My guarantee makes my services risk-free. If you don't feel that your experience was helpful, there's no charge. I also offer other great products and services, many of which are free. To learn more, visit astroshaman.com. Thanks again for watching. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light